In today's lesson, we're going to learn about a grammar point called the causative. Let's get started. What is the causative? Well, it's a grammar form which expresses action that you don't do directly, but somebody else does it for you. We have two examples here. We paint the kitchen every summer. Color blue, paint. This means we do the painting. All right, so we take the brushes and the paint and we paint the walls or the kitchen walls or whatever. When we say we have the kitchen painted every summer, that's different in orange. That means we ask or pay someone else to do the painting for us. Okay, so this is a key difference between the two. The first one, we do the painting. The second one, someone else does it for us. And they do it because we asked them, or we paid them, or we gave them an order, etc. to do so. Now just observe, in this case of the causative, we do not mention who exactly does the work. It's not really important. We focus on the action. And so look at these two examples. We have the kitchen painted every summer. Like, we know what action is done, and we know that we don't do it, but we don't mention who does it. Or my mother has her car checked twice a year. We suppose it's the mechanic who checks the car, obviously, but we just don't say it. So look at the structure. We've got the subject, then we have or has, object, verb, third form, and the complementary information. We have the kitchen, that's have because it's us, and my mother has, it's because she, third person. She has her car checked twice a year. Now, why do we use this and how do we put this in context? Let me give you two examples. I always have my car repaired at this garage. They're really good and work fast. Or last week we had the garden door painted. They did a good job and it wasn't too expensive. So as usual, when we speak, there's always some context. So I suggest if you learn these examples, learn the context also. Right, now you can also use other verbs for the same purpose, like get, for example. You can use get to say, I finally got my car repaired last week. Or I finally had my car repaired last week. Both work. Or we should get the garden door painted. It's really faded. Or we should have the garden door painted. It's really faded. It basically means the same. Just make sure that the structure is, in this case, when we don't mention who does the work, subject, have or get here, then the object, then the verb, and the complementary information. So you should make sure that it's get, object, third form. I got my car repaired, not to repair or whatever. It's not the infinitive here. The second example is different. The management made the office staff tidy their own desks before leaving. What does this mean? First of all, the verb is different. Made, that is make, made in the past. It has the connotation of instruction, like an order. So the managers of the department instructed their employees to tidy their desks before leaving. So the idea here is a bit more authoritative. In this example, we clearly say who gives the order and who receives the order and who does the action. So we do mention who does the work for us or for somebody else. The management made the office staff tidy their own desks means the management ordered the office staff to tidy their desks. Observe and take note. Here the verb is make or made in the past, and the verb is in the infinitive form. In the previous example, when we do not mention who does the work for us, we use have and we use the third form of the verb. If you go back to this slide, you see here, we have the kitchen painted, third form. While here, the management made the office staff tidy the desks. That's the infinitive form. Also, the order is subject, make, and the person who receives the order. So the subject is who gives the order and the person is who receives the order. So just pay attention to that. Now we can use other verbs too, like have and get, for this same structure, but with slightly different meanings. Like you say, I'll have my manager call you next week. It doesn't mean that I'm going to order my manager to call you. The idea is more like I'm going to ask my manager to call you. Or you should get the plumber to replace the broken pipe. Again, this sounds more like I'm going to call and contract a plumber to replace a broken pipe. Just observe, here we use to infinitive, to replace. So with get, in this case, when we know the person who does the action for us, we say to with get. You should get the plumber to replace the broken pipe. Don't confuse this with the previous example where we do not know who the person is. There the structure is different. Actually, let's just put the two structures side by side so you can see the difference. Side by side, let's see. When we do not mention who exactly does the work, we can use have and get. And the third form. I got my car repaired last week. We had the garden door painted last week. When we do mention who does the work for us or for someone else, we use make or get, and then the verb infinitive or to infinitive in the case of get. The management made the office staff tidy their own desks, or you should get the plumber to replace the broken pipe. So just pay attention to that difference. Good luck.